This episode of Your Morning Drive is brought to you by Fireworks Co-working. They are a creative co-working space located in Marietta, Georgia, focused on supporting the local community and uplifting creative entrepreneurs. If you want to try out this beautiful space, this podcast room is just one of the many available rooms and spaces available for you and your company to work at. If you want to try them, you can. Use code DRIVE at checkout and you'll get a free day pass. So, if you're working from home, if you're working at an office that you don't have to go to, if you're tired of working at your kitchen table where you have to listen to your kids or your spouse or the lawn people in the outside cutting the grass and it's too loud for your Zoom meetings. Well, you don't have to worry about that. You can try out Fireworks Co-working in Marietta, Georgia. It's right down the street from Kennestone Hospital. They are the presenting sponsor of Your Morning Drive. They offer me a beautiful space for me to be able to record my podcast with all of the creators, business owners, and other individuals that I get the pleasure of interviewing, and they can be your home too. So either go to the space, tour the place with the staff, tell them Logan Lewis from Your Morning Drive sent you, or if you're booking online, again, use code DRIVE, DRIVE, for a free day pass to try the space. Your Morning Drive is also present to us by Good Days Canned Cocktails. Good Days are a classic cocktail brand created in a convenient, ready-to-drink canned format for any occasion, whether it's a pool day, a boat day, a beach day, a graduation, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, anything in between. Good Days are there for you. Good Days are ahead when they are in your cooler, your fridge, your anything in between. Good Days has your back. If you want to be one of the first to try their drink, you can do so by visiting drinkgooddays.com/pages/find-us to find a store near you selling their drink. Of course, you must be 21 years of age to consume and purchase. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Your Morning Drive. I am Logan Lewis, your host with the most. We are live from the Fireworks studio in Marietta, Georgia. We are thrilled to have you with us tonight. If you enjoy our show and what I'm doing here, do me a quick favor and please share this with one friend, family member, coworker, your boss, your ex-girlfriend, somebody in your life that needs the show to start their day. It just takes 2 seconds. If you're an iPhone person, it's just, that little share thing, the square with the arrow, just click on that. And when that little menu pops up and you see the list of faces, just tap that first person, just whoever they are. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if they are your ex-girlfriend and you guys just broke up over text. You say, you know what? I'm sorry for cheating, but here's a podcast you should listen to. And, she will forgive you. So we'd appreciate that very much. If you do want to send them a link, you can do a couple things. You can send them a YouTube link if they want to watch in full video. If they want to listen, like most people do, you can send them an Apple Podcast link or a Spotify link. Whichever platform you do send them, ask them that they hit subscribe, follow, whatever it says, just so that you don't miss an episode. And on those platforms, especially Apple Podcasts and Spotify, leave a little rating. If you like it, hit 5 stars. If you don't like it, don't hit 1 star. Text me or DM me and tell me what I can do to fix it. Because we want to make the content as fun and engaging as possible. So let's leave me some feedback. Let me know what's going on. For even more ways to stay connected, you can follow on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. There, you'll find show updates, episode announcements, behind-the-scenes stuff, information about sponsors, everything in between, and to keep you entertained. Thank you again for joining us this morning. My guest today is an upper cervical chiropractor. Yeah, that does say cervical. I never read these. I make them, but I never read them beforehand, and sometimes I'm sounding it out, but more on that in a second. Cervical chiropractor specializing in Soundwave technology to provide precise, customized treatments for long-lasting, safe results. A proud graduate of Life University in Marietta, her mission is to help everyone achieve their best health outside of work. She has an amazing family and boyfriend and a proud mom. Interesting animals. Please welcome my new friend, Dr. Kelly. Hello.
Me.
Great. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for doing this with me on a Friday evening.
Absolutely.
Appreciate the sacrifice.
With me. This was great.
Well, we talked a little bit off mic, but for some reason, the lovely scheduling app that I use decided to book the booking in UTC, which we have learned before we hit go that that is actually London time.
Yeah.
I assume you haven't been to London lately?
I haven't been, though. I mean, maybe now I should go.
I mean, maybe it's a sign.
I think so.
So, because I know, like, if I go to California tomorrow and you hit me up and you say, hey, let's do lunch when you get back, if you send me a meeting invite while I'm in a different time zone, it like saves it weird.
It does.
And I hate that it does that. I wish it would just, well, see, this is first world problems. I wish that my smartphone would be even smarter. I wish that it would just put it on your calendar, like in the time zone that you like are currently living in. It'd be cool if you could go somewhere in your settings and put like a default time zone.
That has to exist already.
It has to.
I like
and we just, we have AI that can make images like this, but there's no way to set a default time zone. Yeah, that's tough.
So if I set an appointment in California and then I come back here, it actually changes the time that I set it at.
Right.
So I set it for 6 p.m. and I come back, it's going to now be set at, 9?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But either way, we thought this recording was going to be at 11:30 in the morning last Tuesday. And that just wasn't going to work out
quite that way. Yeah.
You were available, though.
I think so. Well, I thought it was 11 a.m., but it actually said 11 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Oh, God.
So we would have really...
Yeah, that would have been tough.
We would have really missed it there.
I would have just turned the camera off and I would have been like, all right, come in your jammies. Let's have some coffee, late night coffee. Hey, okay. All right. That's true. Yeah. That's true. I've been becoming a little bit of an evening coffee person. I've never really been that guy, but, every once in a while, like an iced coffee smells great.
Yeah.
Or an evening coffee with maybe a little something in it.
I mean, when you got to do it sometime.
I mean, shoot, I might do it later.
You might need to.
When I ultimately get back home and do everything I said I wasn't going to do and probably play more video
games. Because who needs to wrap the Christmas presents?
Not me. And, there's still time. And yeah, I just don't want to do it.
Blindfold the kids, have them wrap their own.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty funny.
That would be really cool.
It's a really good game.
It'd be really cool. And what's really sad is I bet parents now could wrap the presents in front of their kids and just hand them a phone, because that's what it seems like most parents like to do nowadays, is just hand their kid phones when they're not sure what to do.
Right.
I guarantee you could wrap a kid's presents in front of them and they would not know.
They wouldn't even know.
Which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
Because I used to try to catch my parents. Kind of when I was on that. Kids, if you're listening, skip a few seconds. When I was kind of curious about the whole Santa thing, I was like, I'm going to catch them in the act.
Right.
And one year I did. It was great.
Were you that kid that would come downstairs at night once they were wrapped and you'd peek at all of them?
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
I saw this TikTok last night and it was like every man ever. And it's like Christmas morning, 2 a.m. The guy just comes out in the living room, just like stands with his arms behind his back, just like staring at the tree, just marveling at it. It's true. It's true. You wake up in the middle of the night, you're like, I'm going to go marvel at this Christmas tree that's been in my living room for a month.
Pretty nice tree. My boyfriend, when he was a little kid, apparently all the presents were wrapped under the tree, and he has a million siblings, and he went and took all of his, unwrapped them all, panicked because he didn't know how to rewrap them, so he hid them all in his closet.
Oh.
Yeah. So when everybody got up in the morning to unwrap their gifts, his mom was panicking, like, where did I put all of Kyle's presents? Where did they go? And he had hid them in his closet. When she found out, she wasn't thrilled.
No.
I don't know how the story ends. Nobody told me.
How old is he at this point?
He is 26 right now. So that was 20 years ago.
Shouts to Kyle, right? That's what you said?
Kyle.
Okay, I was just making sure you didn't say like Peter. And I was like, it's like maybe I've already had some coffee and Bailey's. But yeah, I know it's such a weird It's such a fun time, but I don't know about this. I mean, this episode, this is late. This was probably going to drop in like January, but God, Christmas, it just doesn't feel like Christmas to me this year. I don't know what it is. I don't feel it.
No, are you from the South?
No.
No.
Can you tell?
No, where are you from though?
I'm from the Midwest.
Where?
The great state of Illinois.
Oh, I'm from Nebraska.
Really?
Most neighbors there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't you know? No, that's not Nebraska.
No, don't you know? That's a little further north.
It is. It is.
That's from my family.
Do you say things like soda? Like if you say pop or pop?
I said pop.
Yeah.
In Nebraska.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you get down here, everyone's like, let me get a Coke.
Let me get a Coke.
Even when they're not talking about Coca-Cola.
They're like, but a Sprite, actually. And it's like, what?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It took me a while to figure it out. My roommate in grad school down here, she was from Georgia.
Okay.
She was from North Georgia. And so she would say the weirdest things. Like she calls the kind of winter hat that you have, she calls it a toboggan.
What a toboggan? I've never heard that.
Out loud, I said, you're going to put a sled on your head? Because to me, that's like the thing you ride.
Yeah.
She said, no, like a toboggan. And I said, oh.
I'd have been like, I have no idea what you're talking about right now.
On the same page
at
all. And so she Googles it, and it literally says on Google, it is a name for a hat in the South. It specifies.
So
in the only Southern people say this weird thing.
Very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Toboggan. I'm going to go home and say that to my Southern wife and see if she has any idea. She's from Nashville, so that's still South, right?
They talk like it.
They do.
They do.
They do.
She probably won't skip a beat.
She says things like, "Oh, like change your oil." Say, change your. She doesn't. I'm emphasizing it. I always give her a hard time about it, but she get your old change. What?
My old change.
My old
change.
That's
who?
What'd you call? But yeah, I don't know. The South is just interesting. But either way, Christmas. It's just I don't know. I've been really bad this year about gifts too.
Really?
So bad, dude.
What does that mean?
Okay, I don't want to pat myself on the back too hard, but I'm a very good gift giver. I'm very thoughtful. I like personalized stuff. I want to go on Etsy and get you like a stamp that's like your mother's signature, like she's passed away, like super personal stuff like that.
Right, except this year?
Nothing.
Okay.
This will come out after Christmas, so this is saved. This tells you how impersonal it is. Last night I bought for my dad, because he's a big handyman kind of guy. He's always like doing shit to their already great house. He's just always like doing things, typical 50-year-old dad stuff, just like hanging stuff up for no reason. And I got him this wristband that's magnetic. So if he's like hanging stuff or working with nails, he can just like put the nails on his wrist.
Yeah.
And they'll stay there.
Personalized still.
Yeah.
Hopefully
he likes.
No, everybody would need one of those.
No. It's a very personal thing. Hey, Dad, when you're, and maybe I could pitch it as, hey, Dad, whenever, because I am not handy.
Oh, no?
No. Oh, God, it's bad.
Handy, but good gift giver. You got something going.
I do. Yeah, good gift giver, bad at doing anything that involves a nail, which is really tough. Yeah. So I'll be like, hey, whenever you come over, this will help you. Whenever you come over and hang my shit up.
Keep it here for you.
In fact, it's for you, but it's for me, but it's for you.
Got myself this gift for us.
Yes, it's for us. It was on Amazon, so Amazon has everything. But that does make it easy, right? Amazon?
It does. Yeah, well, unless you want your stuff on time during the holidays.
Dang, do you struggle with that?
Sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
We live on the 3rd floor of an apartment complex right now, and there's just stairs. We're not elevatoring anywhere. It's stairs all the time.
Yep.
And we got a mattress. What's it called? The bed frame. Thank you. Bed frame. And
were you gonna be like the mattress stand?
What I was about to
say. The mattress stand.
It's nearly 8 o'clock on a Friday.
It is. We're having a good time. We're doing it.
But the Amazon driver just put in like tried to deliver but couldn't, and then it was like MIA for a few weeks, and then they're just like, sorry.
It's almost I can picture the Amazon driver like pulling up, parking in the handicap spot, getting out because he thinks it's gonna be quick, and then he's just like,
literally.
And then he like. It's like The Office, and he just like looks at the camera and he's like,
not today.
Not today. and then he like just throws it in the back of the truck and marks it, can't deliver.
Can't deliver, can't do it. Yeah. Well, the best part was the other part that it said in the Amazon thing said, tried to fit in mailbox.
What?
I know.
Not the apartment complex
No
mailbox.
like in your little cube of a mailbox. Yeah.
That's not
It didn't fit in there.
So Kelly, who, time zone and Amazon aside,
Yeah.
who are you, Kelly?
Oh,
That's an intense question.
that's a really big question.
Who is Kelly?
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Who is she?
Yeah. She's you know, she loves life. She's spicy. She has a good time. She's always busy. But for real, I am a Georgia transplant. Like I said, I'm from Nebraska. I was born and raised there. All my family is from Minnesota, way north, like baby Canada.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna go to the house, and everyone has an Aunt Barb, and you gotta, yeah, it really is dry. I have an Aunt Barb, I actually do. But
Love that.
so let's see. I came down here in 2019 to Marietta to go to Life University, the chiropractic school. Fun fact about them, Life University is actually the largest single campus chiropractic school in the world.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I was going to, my immediate next question was going to be, why is Life University so popular? I've had that question ever since I moved down here, and I've been in Georgia for 10 years or so at least.
Yeah.
But ever since I've been down here, I've never done the research to be like, why is Life University a big deal? And now I know.
Yep.
That's really cool.
Yep, it is very cool. And it actually just had its 50th anniversary.
Wow.
It's been around for 50 years, and it's just a hub. At this point, any chiropractic seminar, anything that's happening, any continuing education, like big classes like that, they all make a pit stop through here at some point during the year.
Wow.
Yeah. So it just attracts a lot more students, a lot more kind of, like I said, seminars and things like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So growing up, were you like, was there a trajectory that you were like, yeah, I'm going to do something in the medical industry?
Yeah, I actually decided in 7th grade in science class that I liked science. We were going to do stuff with health because there was always just the most fun. You got to do experiments. You got to be hands-on with stuff. You got to be up and around. And so I knew I liked science, and then I knew I liked helping people. And so healthcare and medicine was kind of a natural next step. And I actually took a really cool class in undergrad called Intro to Health Professions, where you shadow a whole bunch of just whatever kind of health profession you want, and your assignments were to write papers about the people you shadowed, what you learned.
That's really cool. I feel like so much of education, especially college, is just like, study this, we're going to take a test on it, move on, never talk about that old thing again.
Right.
So I feel like that's what the future of college should be. It's like, okay, you really think you want to do this? Well, for a semester, you're going to report to work, and you're going to hang out with this dude, and you're going to write papers on it and discuss with the class your findings, rather than study, quiz, test, study. Right.
And then do it again.
Right. Cramming for subjects you'll probably never touch again.
Right.
So, I mean, that's really nice. That's awesome.
Right. I like that one a lot. And I bring that up all the time when people ask me this sort of thing, because it did make a huge difference for me. And they would have different health professions come in and talk. Like the times where you weren't writing papers, other professions were coming in and just talking about what they do on a day-to-day and how they like it and that sort of thing. And what I noticed from those speakers and my shadowing is that it's really important to enjoy the work that you're doing. And chiropractors, hands down, I shadowed a whole bunch of them, and they liked their job. They liked coming to work. They liked their offices. They enjoyed seeing patients and talking to them and educating them. And they usually, for the most part, what I saw as well is they had great family life too, because they were able to create their own schedules, tailor it to their family's needs at different points throughout, their kids growing up or whatever it was. And, it was just something where I was like, that's a life that I could see myself enjoying and liking too, that I would like to do that.
That's really cool. I can't get over that whole class situation you just brought up. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it would have saved me. I majored in something that I do not use to this day in college. And I'm sure my parents are really happy about that.
What was it?
Computer science.
Okay.
I was all in on being a programmer. Not for me.
You don't like it?
No.
Why don't you like it?
In case you haven't been able to tell in the last 18, 20 minutes-ish, I like to talk to people. I really like interacting with people. There's not a lot of that in the programming world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a stereotype that programmers are to themselves and socially awkward and all these.
Super thick glasses. And
Well, lucky for you, I'm wearing my contacts right now, but I do have super thick glasses. I am blind as a bat.
Almost fit.
Almost fit. I have all of the physicality things that a programmer would have, just my soul craves human interaction. And I didn't want to sit in front of a monitor and inspect code like they have to do. I mean, the people who do it are brilliant. Good for them. I really wish that I had what they had, but at the same time, I'm glad I don't.
Right.
Because I mean, they make crazy money. And I mean, it pays well, but I mean, I personally would rather have more fun than get paid crazy money. I mean, yeah, crazy money would be great.
Right. Money's an okay motivator, but it can't be the only one.
Right.
Yeah.
Because eventually, I mean, I grew up pretty, I don't want to say privileged because I hate using that word, but I grew up pretty okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we were young, things were tough, but once my dad hit a certain level of status at the company he works for, we had anything that we wanted. I mean, not like Bill Gates crazy, but like for the most part, like we had things, and totally forgot where that point was going. So that's great. I do that a lot.
Just what you like doing, and that you didn't, computer programming wasn't for you. And
yeah, well, you know, it's hard to, and this kind of goes back to the Christmas thing. It's really hard to shop for people that have everything. And my wife will say it sometimes, and she'll just be like, you know, I don't know what to get you, man. I mean, you guys have it. And we've tackled the same thing with my brother and sister especially, and this isn't knocking them because they'll admit this to you themselves, but they have a very high taste in clothing brands.
I see.
Very high taste. And ultimately, we are not in that place in our life right now to be able to give those kinds of gifts. So we have to get the non-Gucci branded things. And I don't want to make it sound like that they're snobs, because that's definitely not true, but it's just harder to shop or just harder to live around people that have everything. So
a good thing to focus on for people like that is an experience that you could create, something y'all can go do together, or, you know, something like that. Because then it's not about things if they already are able to get whatever things they want. Yeah.
But either way, I don't know why I went off on that soapbox, but yeah, I mean, they make crazy money, but at the end of the day, I mean, I enjoy what I do 9 to 5, and then I enjoy being able to put that to the side and be able to do things like this, where I can be myself and be free and not report to anybody, and it's badass.
That was one of the features I liked about chiropractic, is you are your own boss. If you choose that, you can work for somebody with somebody else, or you can choose to work for yourself. And that's a pretty key feature for a lot of chiropractors.
And Kelly, I don't want to make it sound like I'm not prepared for this conversation, but I always tell my guests on here that I do very minimal research on folks so that I can learn about them in the conversation, rather than me doing all this research and then asking you all these pre-written questions that I already know the answer to. Just very fake, kind of. It's very talk showy.
Right.
So do you work for yourself?
Currently, yes, I do. I'm more like an independent contractor. So I work in an office that has a bunch of other chiros there. They have some athletic trainers. They have massage therapists, that sort of thing. So I'm the upper cervical chiropractor at that office.
So what made you chase the upper cervical chiropractic?
So I actually got an upper neck spine injury while I was in school.
Really?
While I was in chiropractic school.
Really?
Yeah.
Before that injury, were you just chiropractic?
Yeah. I knew that I liked chiropractic, and I had worked as kind of a front desk person at a chiropractic office back in Nebraska, but I didn't fully understand what all went into it, or why. I didn't know there were different techniques. I didn't know anything, really. I just knew that I liked that job, and I'd seen a few people adjust before. And I thought that was pretty neat, that people could get well from just that, and not medications and not surgeries and that kind of thing. but the upper cervical part came along. So I got injured while I was in school about 6 months in. And so I had 3 years left of the program.
Wow.
Right.
Can I cut you off and ask you, is it too personal? What was the injury?
I got injured by a chiropractic adjustment to my upper neck spine.
No.
It's true. Don't jump into that too often.
Wow. I understand. I
don't want there to be a whole bunch of flack towards the profession.
Sure.
Chiropractic is a very safe profession. You can see that by how much a chiropractor pays for malpractice insurance. It's like tiny because injuries are very, very few and far between. I was adjusted by someone who was not paying good attention. We were at a seminar and he just was being a little bit irresponsible, which I know now and I wasn't able to see when I was only 6 months into school.
Sure.
But yeah, so I was 6 months into a 3.5-year program, basically, and I took the next, probably 2 years of that time frame to figure out how to fix it.
Wow.
And I tried all sorts of things. I tried lots of different types and techniques of chiropractic, all just receiving them, paying for my care all throughout school. And then I tried different, exercises. I changed my food. I changed my exercise. I meditated. I tried all these things.
Wow.
And some of it was helping me maintain where my new normal was at, which was not a great place, but nothing was really getting me better. And then I heard a speaker at a seminar talk about upper cervical. I went and I tried it, and I did I in particular practice using Soundwave upper cervical. And so I tried that and it was amazing.
Wow.
It created this huge rush and flush of blood in my body. Like I all of a sudden was flushed bright pink and I was hot and sweating after just a Soundwave adjustment that you don't even feel. Because that misalignment, what it had caused was a interference in the blood flow to and from my head. I didn't realize all that. You don't feel it in your own body because it happens kind of gradually.
Sure.
And I can explain that process later if you want. But it's what happens when the sound wave sets the bones back into your proper position as it opens up the blood flow to and from your head. And that's what I was feeling when I flushed bright pink after it. And I noticed that it was such a big response to something I didn't even feel. And I was like, man, I got to learn more about this. So I spent the next, how far in school? I'm in 2.5 years in school at that point. Spent the next 6 months learning about it. I interned down at that office, worked there for a year, and have brought that sort of Soundwave upper cervical to this area now too.
Wow.
Yeah. And not many chiros do it yet, but it is growing.
So it's very, I don't want to say new, but it's very up and coming.
It definitely is. So Soundwave adjusting has been around since the 80s, but it's kind of like if you were to compare the iPhone 1 to the iPhone that there is now, it's been upgraded and changed to work better and be more efficient, that sort of thing. So it's kind of like if you're comparing the 80s to right now.
Sure.
It's changed quite a bit and it's been updated, and yeah, so it's much more customized. It accounts for, different uniquenesses that a person's bones might have. So it takes into account your bone shape as well as your bone position, and it sort of overlaps those two things to get a very, very specific adjustment for you, tailored only to you. It would match you and no one else because everyone's bones are a different shape.
Wow. I was just about to ask that is how do you do? I mean, good Lord, so many questions.
What?
First of all, that's so cool.
It's cool.
So cool. I've never been to the chiropractor.
Ever?
Never.
Not one time.
Not one time.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
What do you tell people like that who have never been and they know what they think they know what the chiropractor is all about, but then you tell them there's all these other methods that fit within the chiropractic umbrella. And then they're like, all right, well, what kind of method do you do? And then you tell them, and then they're like, how do you convince them that with it being a newer form of treatment, how do you convince them that it's just as effective, if not more effective?
That's a really good question. So it just depends on where the person's at when they start asking those questions, their perspective on things. So I usually ask a few more questions to kind of get a feel for where they're at, but it can be as basic as the fire compared to the fire alarm, right? The fire alarm is going to go off somewhere, it's connected to the wall and you hear it go off, but that's not the same location as the fire.
Okay.
right? And so the switch that could turn the fire alarm off doesn't necessarily clear out the fire. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what that means is that sometimes people will come in and they'll be like, my knee hurts, my low back hurts, my shoulder hurts. And I'm like, okay, fire alarms. They're going off. They're making sounds. There's a problem somewhere. But those things that you just mentioned could be an effect of a different cause. And the cause a lot of times for a lot of people is the upper neck spine area, the upper cervical spine.
Interesting. Gosh, so many. I mean, okay, so how does it end? Now you're going to have to go a little deeper on this. So upper cervical. To all the people out there who don't know what that means, and I may or may not be one of those people, what does that mean?
Well, first and foremost, I should clarify that the upper cervical spine and a cervix are not the same thing.
Okay.
They are not the same thing. Yeah, I don't adjust cervixes. I had somebody ask me that one time. The answer is no.
Okay, so now I'm going to do a Google. Okay. That's
female reproductive system.
Okay. Yeah. I was going to say, I know what a cervix is, but I can't, Kelly, I'm what most people would call dumb.
You just didn't study anatomy.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you went up to a random person on the sidewalk and you're like, what's a cervix? They'd be able to tell you. Right?
Maybe.
My wife's going to be hearing this and she's going to text me like, you idiot. Like, how do you not know what that is?
People make a living off videos like that. They walk around and ask random people on the side of the road, like, who was the first president of the
I know. I've seen those. They're like, Martha Stewart. You're like, all right, you're voting. This person is.
It's the guy that I'm thinking of goes, correct. He's always like,
let them continue being idiots. Wow. But, okay. So yeah, no cervix stuff.
What we're adjusting.
That's not what we're adjusting. We're doing the cervix.
First cervical.
Cervical.
So cervical means neck spine.
Okay.
Thoracic means chest spine. Lumbar means lower back spine. Most people have heard of that because they're like the lumbar support in the car. That's for your lower back spine. So the cervical spine is all this neck part from the base of your head where you can feel the back of your skull and then down to almost your shoulders, basically. There's 7 cervical vertebrae. So you have your skull and then it sits on a bone, which sits on a bone, which is, you know, that kind of goes bone, disc, bone, disc, bone, disc for the most part, right? So the uniquenesses at the upper cervical spine are very important. And that's why that can be a whole section of study all by itself. So for example, the upper cervical spine does not actually have discs at it. The skull to the first bone and then the first bone to the second bone, they don't have discs there, which is why that area of the spine can be moved with a sound wave and the rest of the spine cannot.
Wow. Okay. So when you say that everybody's bones are a different shape, that also I did not know, but I guess it makes sense. I mean, it's not like we're running through when we're born. It's not like they run us through a 3D printer. It's not like we're all the same shape.
In general, the shapes are similar, of course, but it's, you know, it's kind of like everyone's face is different.
Yeah.
You know, you find your one doppelganger somewhere crazy, you know, everyone looks like that one actor, but, you know, your face isn't identical.
You remind me of.
Really?
Is it Zooey Deschanel? Have you ever gotten that? Do you know who that is?
I know who that is. I don't get that one as often as I do Nancy from Stranger Things.
Thank you so much for taking time away from filming the last season of Stranger Things to be here.
You're welcome.
You do look like Nancy.
Oh, shit. I'm an actress. No, I'm just kidding.
Holy shit. You look just like Nancy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude.
I know. I got that one a lot.
Really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And before that, it was Kelly Kapowski. Yeah. Because my hair used to be poofier. Did you ever watch, what is it, Saved by the Bell?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I used to get that one a lot when I was younger.
Okay. Wow. But definitely. That's so cool, dude. You could this is horrible. You could profit off that.
You're not even the first person to say that to me this week.
Really? This week?
The other day, they were like, you should just go be her stunt double or something.
I wasn't even going to say that, dude. I was just going to be like, yo, I'm going to be at the friggin' library signing autographs, and they're $30 a pop.
Call a restaurant, be like, what's her real name? Hey, somebody told me I know it. I've looked it up before.
Kelly Peterson.
That's me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me. So I'll be like, oh, Nancy from Stranger Things making a reservation at whatever restaurant.
Yeah, can I get a first and last name? Nancy and from Stranger Things. Is that not good enough?
What's her name?
I don't know. This is why we have the things we have.
People.
Nancy from Stranger Things. Dude, it is frightening how much you look like her. In fact, like, look like the first picture that pops up. Now, do me a favor and just like look like concerned. Like, look concerned.
I'm just gonna laugh. Okay. Let me.
My God. I might have to save this picture and like throw it up on the video just so people can be like,
Oh man.
holy shit. But either way, her name is Natalia Dyer?
Yeah.
Natalie Dyer?
Yeah.
Natalia?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. She's cool. She's hardcore. I can appreciate this comparison. This is good.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not like you're being told you look like, I don't know, someone that you just absolutely don't look like.
It's just a huge wimp, you know. You never want to be. You never want.
Yeah, Nancy's a badass.
She's cool.
She is cool.
Yeah.
She's a badass bitch. We love that.
I like it.
Who do I look like? I get a few, and I want to see if you point it out.
It's because I don't know actor names for anything.
I get two all the time.
Really?
They're very different.
Okay.
And one of them kind of offends me because I don't know what. It doesn't really offend me, but I always am just like, hey, act black.
I was going to say it because your personality.
Yes. Okay. That's what they tell me.
Like, can you play the piano?
No.
Oh.
Remember. Dumb.
Not music, maybe. Yeah.
And then the other one is Chris Pratt, which I'm not muscular at all. He's the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Can you show me his face?
Yeah,
Because I feel like that would help. I'm just the worst with actor names.
No, you're good.
Truly.
Chris Pratt. See,
So
like looking at it,
Pratt
looking at a
you.
picture of him, there's nothing about this guy that I look like. But
I'll be the judge of that. I'll have to finally.
now I got to find the most look like me picture
Fair.
ever.
Fair.
Chris Pratt. Guardians of the Galaxy, Jurassic Park.
Let me see. I gotta scroll through because this beard one I feel like is closer because he's got the beard like you do.
Yeah, yeah.
So let me see here.
Jurassic.
I want you to look off to that side and smile at something. I think it's in the ear shape too. You know.
Oh, okay.
That
I got the ear.
Yeah.
Hey,
Pratt ear.
Chris Pratt ears and Jack Black personality.
I mean, your wife's a lucky lady.
Hey,
There you go.
there's worse things to be. God, how do we even get on?
I actually have no idea.
Yeah, that's what podcasting is.
It seems
is
right.
Starting tangents and then at the end of it being like,
What happened?
all right.
What did we come here to talk about?
Who are
I
you?
actually don't even remember.
Are you Nancy from Stranger Things?
Stranger Things. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for being here. I hope the last season comes through.
Here before, it's mean.
Well,
Cool.
you might be the closest thing I've had to a movie star. I did interview somebody who won American Idol
Really?
a few years ago.
Who's that?
Well, I mean, he won in 2007,
Mm-hmm.
but I interviewed him like 3 weeks ago. David Cook.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, how about that?
He was a cool dude.
Was he cool?
He was not local. I did it virtually. Sad.
You haven't
but-
posted that one yet.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Go back
It's
to
out.
this.
You should. You should.
That'd be
It was
cool.
really cool. Really
Mhm.
cool.
Did he sing?
No, I thought about having him do that, but the second he joined the call, he was like, "Hey man, I'm a little sick," and I was like, "You didn't have to do this. You could have canceled it on me. You're famous."
Great. You can do whatever you want.
He was like, "I don't like to tell people no," and I was like, "I like that.
That's really nice.
It's really sweet.
It's really nice. People are people.
People are people,
You know?
famous or not."
There you go.
So chiropractic.
So the cervix.
So I've never been to the chiropractor. My wife goes religiously because I think her insurance is just fantastic and it just covers it. I think. I don't know.
That's really nice for her because most don't.
Yeah, she's a teacher. Shout out to her for teaching.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to go, but it's I've interviewed so many different forms of chiropractic that I'm like, I don't know who to go to,
Yeah.
and I don't want to like offend one or the other. It's like I've probably only talked to 3,
Mhm.
but each of them have a different style.
That's fair.
I mean, I've never heard of this stuff. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're talking about. Bones. Okay.
Bones.
How did we start talking about the famous? I don't know.
I'm not even sure.
Not even sure. So how does it develop? I mean, so is it like a machine that does this?
Yeah. So I have a table. It's like a big bench that you lay on, but for the Soundwave Adjusting, you lay on your side
Okay.
because the very top bone, I'll do it on this side, the very top bone of your spine sits right about your earlobe height.
Okay.
Yeah. The very top bone of the spine is called Atlas. If you know Greek mythology at all, the god Atlas holds up the
Yeah.
world. on his shoulders.
Yep.
So this is your little atlas holding up your world.
Oh, that's cool.
Pretty neat.
Is that why they named it that?
Assume so. I wasn't there when they named it.
Oh, that's
so what?
How unprofessional of you. I can't believe you don't know.
So that's, yeah.
Wow.
But,
go back to life.
Go back to school.
Wow.
Anyhow, so what I do is the table bench part that you're laying on has a piece attached at the top. And I can send you a picture if that's helpful. But basically what happens is this big part that comes over and it's got a little stylus, just a little metal stylus that kind of pokes out. And somebody told me once that it looked like the alien probe from a movie. It's not. It's not that.
It's not an alien probe.
It's not an alien probe, but he did publish that in his newsletter.
It would make sense because you are from the cast of Stranger Things, a show that's kind of alienish.
You get it.
So now it's lining up.
You get it. Yeah, I kind of blew my cover there just now. But anyways, so this little stylus comes out. Then essentially with all of the measurements that I take off of your x-rays, I know exactly how to set this up and position it around that spot of your neck. And then what I do when it's time to do the sound wave, I just press a button and a little striker taps the other end of a stylus inside a casing. So you can't see it, but it taps it and it's kind of like a giant tuning fork.
Okay.
Like it creates a vibration, but it's very specific and pointed in the way that it comes out.
And you can't feel it.
You can't feel a thing. That stylus doesn't sit against your skin. It doesn't touch your skin at all. It sits just off of it. Because if you've ever had a tuning fork before, you hit it on your hand, the vibration that's causing the sound that you can hear.
Yeah.
And if you touch it, it stops. It stops vibrating. So that's why that's not sitting against your skin, because that would stop it and it would change the way that it works.
Sure. And it could potentially do something. I mean, is it heavy vibrations?
No, it's so light. So it works in this way. My voice right now is creating sound waves.
Sure.
And it's moving the little bones that are inside your ear because it's the proper frequency to do that.
That's really cool to think about.
Yeah, because if you think about it, if we had a whale in here, their frequency that they communicate at is too low for the human ear.
Really?
It's the wrong frequency, so we can't hear it. If I were to just listen to a whale, if I had that ability, we wouldn't hear most of what they do because it's too low for our ear. Our ear bones, they don't register that frequency.
That's really cool to know.
And it's the same as if there were like a bat in here. Bats speak to each other at such a high frequency that it's not in the range of what a human ear can hear.
Huh.
Right? So that it wouldn't move the little bone inside your ear. Because what happens with my frequency, that's the proper ones for your ear to hear, it moves the little bones, moves the little tiny hair follicles inside your ear canal. That creates a nerve signal that goes to your brain. You interpret it as words and sound, right? So in the same way, the sound wave frequency from the table is the proper frequency to move these bones. It's just been calibrated to that level. The coefficient of friction has been taken into account. Yeah. So it moves those bones, but you don't feel my voice moving the little bones inside your ear right now. You can't feel that happening, but it is doing that. So when the sound wave goes through the neck spine, you don't feel it. All you hear is the click of one button. And then I move the table out of the way, have you sit up. I check some neurological indicators, and that's how we know. And then I post x-ray as well. So I can compare measurements before to directly after and see what's changed by how much, what do we need to do better or differently on your next adjustment.
So definitely a different experience than just going to the regular chiropractor.
I always tell people I am a chiropractor, but I don't do crack. So
you don't do crack, crack. Very nice. Great.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I might not know bones, but I know a good marketing slogan when I hear it. Wow. Hey, that's good.
I heard that from my friend, Dr. D'Ambrosio. So shout out to him because he gave me that.
Shouts to him. That's a great line.
Yeah.
Well, so speaking of marketing, I mean, so this is such a niche kind of, so like if I'm coming in and I have lower back problems, it doesn't make sense for me to see you.
Well, it wouldn't make sense until I can explain it to you, until I can show you in the exam how they're actually related.
Okay.
How they're related. So a lot of times in healthcare and in medicine, someone will come in with a problem somewhere. Let's say it's your elbow, because that's what I can see right now. If you go in to a doctor or sometimes a massage therapy, a PT place, depending on who you see, they're going to just look at your elbow if what you say is my elbow hurts.
Right.
You see what I mean?
I do.
Low back. My low back hurts. So where does all the attention go?
Lower back.
Your low back. And that's it. The thing is, though, your low back is connected to the rest of your body. You're only one person. You know, like you it's all put together in a certain way to work together.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so what I tell people a lot, and I have a little poster in my office that shows it too. The reason the low back relates to the neck spine, I can actually have you do it with me so you can feel it in your own body. So your brain gets a lot of good information about your environment through your eyes. So your eyes are high priority for your brain. Now, what happens if your neck's misaligned is your head's tilted just a little bit and sometimes rotated, just depending on what your misalignment is like. And you can't always visually see it in a person. It might just be by degrees and millimeters, but your head's tilted. And so now my eyes are not level with the floor or the horizon if I'm outside. And my brain goes, oh, that's lopsided. But if this upper neck spine is stuck and the brain can't send a signal here to fix this misalignment, your body is going to fix it somewhere else to get your eyes back level. Right. So it's going to have you twist. Did you see that? So my eyes are not level. My neck's misaligned.
Right.
And then I fixed it
right.
with my low back and my eyes are level. Even though my neck's still misaligned, my eyes are level. Do you see what I mean?
I do.
So now my low back is twisting.
Okay.
But my eyes are good. So my brain says, priority, we checked out. Low back, you're just going to have to figure it out. Right? You're just going to have to compensate the best you can. So now my low back's twisting, right? And I'm leaning harder on this hip, this knee, this ankle, right? So why do people all of a sudden have one knee that goes out before the other, one foot that has plantar fasciitis and not the other? Same with the hip. And it's like, that's not by accident. That's not from aging. You know, it can't be from aging because your body is the same age.
Right.
Your knees are the same age. It's not because of aging.
Right.
So this low back twisting is creating lots of things, even just in the leg, right? How does your knee relate to your neck? So then in the lower back spine, now we're twisting and we're creating pressure on those discs in a way that they were never meant to handle long term. Right? We're twisting. And so we're pushing on them kind of at an angle rather than straight up and down. And this angle squeezes the disc slowly over many years. It will squeeze the disc this way and kind of out like a tube of toothpaste eventually, if that disc weakens enough. If you've been twisting for months, years, and decades, and it depends on the severity of the twisting as well. But that's how a disc can go bad from an upper neck misalignment. But what'll happen is I'll feel the pain in my back. So then I'll go wherever it is that I go to seek care and I tell them about my back and they adjust or massage or PT or surgery or whatever at my low back. And the problem keeps coming back no matter what I do. And it's like, if you work on a spot, it should get stronger. It should get healthier. It shouldn't be a problem spot forever unless you had some really severe trauma somewhere.
Right.
But if it's just one of those things where you were switching the laundry and your back just blew out, that's not normal. It might be common, but it's not normal. It shouldn't happen like that. Like laundry wasn't that heavy. You know what I mean?
Right.
It shouldn't. You've changed laundry a million times.
Right.
So the low back is showing a symptom of a different cause. And if all I treat is your low back, it's going to keep doing that.
Damn, boy. I think I've talked about this before with other doctors, but I mean, it's kind of a huge flaw in the medical system in that, hey, doc, I feel nauseous. And it's like, all right, here's a pill. No, you're no longer nauseous. And it's like
anti-nausea medication.
Right. And it's like, all right, well, that works. But we're not necessarily addressing the issue. We're just trying to prevent it from happening again.
We're trying to get rid of my discomfort.
Right. And here's the thing, Kelly, and maybe you can help solve this. And maybe it means I got to come to you. I don't know. But and for the people listening too, they're going to hear some medical information. You're a doctor. You've heard worse things from what I'm about to tell you.
Maybe. We'll see.
It's not horrible. So for the past 3 years now, it's been, this thing has been bugging me.
Okay.
And it's taking place in my left, my side down, kind of in the whatever organ is over there. It's either the pancreas or starts with a T. Don't know what it is.
It just depends on where you're pointing, but I get what
it's
you're
like
saying.
right around here.
Right.
It's like right around the side, kind of. And it's a discomfort. It does not hurt. It doesn't cause me any pain. 0. When the doctor's like, what's the pain level? I say 0 because there's no pain. It's just uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels like I'm sitting right next to you and I'm taking my fingers and I'm just kind of poking you in the side.
Yeah.
And just like holding it there.
Constantly.
Yeah. Not like a off and on type thing. It's not like beating like a heartbeat, but I'm taking my fingers and I'm just like poking you and it's just staying there. Like, and I've gotten ultrasounds, I've gotten CT scans, nothing. And I have no idea what the hell is happening.
Yeah.
So my primary care doctor, she said a few months ago, she said something that kind of sounded stupid in my head, but now thinking about what you just said is like the problem could be somewhere else. And that's just the area of the body that's reflecting that discomfort. But she said, you might have pulled a muscle. And I was like, pulled a muscle?
You're like,
but it's been here for 3 years. And I don't want to like out myself, but I'm not the most active dude. So if I were to pull something and it is still here, I mean, like, you'll see, I mean, you've probably seen it as we've been sitting here. I adjust a lot. Most of it is because of that discomfort.
Yeah.
And if I adjust my body a certain way, like if I prop my leg up like that, it kind of subsides the discomfort.
Okay.
And then when I put my leg back down, ooh, it's back. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's more intense. But like when I'm driving and I'm like singing a song or listening to a podcast or a book or something, I don't notice it because my attention's not on it. But like when I'm in bed or sitting on the couch, I have to lay or sit a certain way to not feel this discomfort. And there's a piece of me that's like, oh, it doesn't hurt.
Right.
So it's really not that big of a deal. But at the same time, I now forget what it's like pre this discomfort. Right. Which I feel like kind of sucks. And I haven't been to the chiropractor. Maybe I need to go to the chiropractor and maybe it goes away. But I have no idea what to do. And
it's wild what people can get used to.
Yeah.
I mean, like the thing, people are like, I just have a migraine every week.
Yeah. I'm like, that's not good.
You what? Do you know how many days a year you're losing of like life?
Yeah.
It's crazy. So without getting, diagnosis-y on you, your primary care wasn't, wildly off. It doesn't sound like, but also there are a lot of things that could be causing something like that. And it would take a thorough exam to kind of rule things in and out to see what it is. But you, like most people, would benefit from someone who studies wellness care rather than sick care.
Right.
Do you see what I mean with that? Because it's a lot of healthcare professionals, they don't get into their profession because of this. But what'll happen is that they get into their profession and they realize that it's symptom treatment.
Right.
Is what they're doing. They're just kind of covering things up and making you as comfortable as you can until something gets really bad. And then they have to take care of that because we covered up all the symptoms. And I teach all my patients symptoms are messages that your body's trying to send you. Something's going on, something's here, you get a fever, you got an infection, your body's fighting it, but that's a message. Your body's trying to send you that. Right. And so what'll happen is all these things get covered up until something's really, really bad later. So where you're like, it doesn't like, I'm not in pain per se, but I'm not comfortable a lot.
Yeah. That's an accurate depiction of what's going on.
And so it's like, you wouldn't want to just continue waiting until something's really bad.
Well, it kind of puts things in full, perspective when like, not to get like uber personal on everybody, but for like the last few years, my grandma has been complaining about her stomach hurting. And then this last year, she finds out she has cancer. And it's related to her issue. She tried, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
She goes, before she gets the cancer diagnosis, she's going to physical therapy. She's going to the gym. She's trying to figure it out. And she goes gluten-free to try to be healthier.
Right.
And all of those things kind of work. It's like me adjusting my body to sit. It kind of works.
Right.
But it doesn't ultimately. And then ultimately they go see the cancer doctor, and then they're like, boom, you have cancer. And she's like, well, no shit, no wonder my damn stomach was hurting.
Right.
It's because I've got cancer was growing there for the last like 4 or 5 years, and I had no idea. So when I like sit here and I go to the doctor, it's December that we're recording this. I went to the doctor back in November or October, and I said, I want to get this ultrasound. I want to do all these things. Let's find out what this thing is. And it comes back, nothing abnormal.
Regular.
And I say, well, respectfully, what the hell is going on? Because it's not normal.
Right.
This doesn't need to be a Logan venting about his medical issues, but it just kind of goes to show you, it's like the whole thing that we were just talking about is like doctors are there. No offense to the people either. I mean, you guys have a job to do and you do it well, but they're preventing the problem from happening again.
Right.
Well, not even from happening again, but from happening now.
From the discomfort that you're having right now. And it's not just a Logan vent session. I think a lot of people can relate to what you're saying.
And it's like, ultimately, if someone tells me, if I go to like, I don't know, God, he's probably the only one that has the answer. But if he's just like, you're going to be uncomfortable like that for the rest of your life, but nothing's wrong, Nothing's wrong. You're just going to be uncomfortable like that for the rest of your life. Okay, that's fine. I can pivot. I used to sleep on my side or my back. Not anymore. I have to lay on that side to subside the discomfort. Like I can deal with it, but I don't want to.
Right.
I want to go back to not having like I'm folding my body literally in half to try to get rid of it.
So,
and it's kind of just,
I understand what you're saying though. And it could be as simple as not exactly your case, but a lot of people will sit with one leg crossed all the time. It's always their right leg, always, and they're always kind of leaning off to this side. I can relate that to a spinal misalignment so easily, because most of the time why a person's going to twist up like that just all the time is because it eases the misalignments that they're having. It's easier to lean in to the misalignment than to try to have your muscles hold you up and out of it forever, right? We've all done that thing where, you're asleep for however long you're asleep for, then you get up and you feel more sore than when you went to sleep. And it's like, but how? And people will get a new mattress and a new pillow and a new knee pillow and a new whatever it is, or one of those beds that like tilts you half up or half down. Your bed didn't beat you up at night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You didn't acquire new tissue damage.
Right. You could be sleeping on a brick, but that doesn't mean that those bricks are doing anything to you.
That's the thing. So there's something going on in your body that's twisting you up and causing symptoms, and it's leading to the effects that you're having. But what needs to be identified is not how do we quiet the symptom, it's how do we treat the fire so the fire alarm goes off.
Right.
Or, if you have that one person in your family that always burns stuff when they're cooking, sets off the fire alarm. I'm not talking about my boyfriend, but I'm kind of talking.
Damn.
Always sorry.
She's coming for you, bro.
But it's true. I mean, when he cooks amazing food, so I'm not mad.
Amazing burnt food.
Okay. Well, no, actually, he's an amazing cook, and I'm very grateful for his cooking.
Wow. Shout out to him.
We
love you, Kyle. Yeah. So, I mean, ultimately, I'm not a big New Year's resolution dude, but 2025, I will figure out what the hell is going on down here. And, the whole perspective thing of like, well, what if there's cancer growing inside of me? I don't want to speak that into existence, but I mean, my grandma was bitching about the same shit. And then boom, stage 4 cancer. And it's like, what if something's growing and I don't know that it's growing?
I think it's a haunting thing in a lot of people's minds, just because it's gotten so prevalent. It's not something, there are a lot of naturopathic doctors out there that have studied and know the mechanisms of these things and know how to help and or support you if someone's needing further treatments in addition to natural support. And there are tests that can help find these things early. Not saying that you do, but there's lots of ways to help this before it gets to worst case scenario.
Right, for sure.
You know what I mean? And there's wellness doctors out there, and unfortunately right now you kind of have to really look to find them, but they're out there. Yeah, and it's worth finding and testing for things early, or just getting, for me, getting your brainstem clear so the blood flow to and from your head can function and you don't have those crazy brain deterioration diseases later in life.
It's crazy talking about this subject and using terms like function and deteriorate and cognitive or cogs. And I was talking about this with somebody, it might have been another doctor on the podcast, but I was just like, it's crazy to think about that our bodies are literally machines. Like your car, your body is like a car. I mean, it's got all these pieces that work together to ultimately do what we're doing. But do you ever, I mean, it's such a stoner thought, but like, do you ever just like sit back and think like, holy shit, like the fact that I'm doing like all of these things and like it's because my brain is communicating to my body somehow to like lift my arm, lift my, it's crazy to think about the fact that we're just living here. I mean, I promise I'm not stoned right now. It's just a crazy thing. It's just a crazy thought that, I mean, like, no wonder, like, when people have cancer, it's the equivalent to, your radiator needs replacing, or your check engine light comes on, and maybe this is my check engine light that's like, warning, something's wrong. But, you take it to the shop a few times and they're like, we don't know what's wrong with it. And then you drive it off the lot. Right. You drive it off the lot and boom, check engine light comes back on. Man.
Right.
So it's just crazy to think about how, I mean, if you don't get your stupid, If you don't get your oil changes, you don't get those tires rotated, you don't take it to the car wash, shit's going to go down eventually.
Right.
So
it's true. Humans were meant to be mobile, be moving majority of the time of the day, to engage in conversation like this and not just stare at a screen all day, like you were talking about. And it's, if you don't meet your basic human needs, I talk to patients about this so often, maybe even more than chiropractic stuff, just like basic human needs. I feel like I talk about a lot because majority of people are dehydrated. Majority of people don't get enough sunlight. Majority of people don't eat what their body needs. Majority of people don't move hardly at all, hardly enough, or they move in one plane of motion and they don't try anything else with their body throughout the day. Like, when was the last time you did monkey bars? Like, hung on a bar and just did monkey.
Last time I went to a playground, which don't call the police, was I think like one of my wife's cousin's kids' birthday parties, and it was at a public park, and I was like, I'm gonna try the monkey bars, but I was obviously tall enough to touch the ground, and I was like, damn, I haven't like hung from a monkey bar in like a long time.
And it was like way harder than
so hard
when you were a kid. It's like we're supposed to be able to hold our body weight. You know what I mean? Though, but like most people, or a lot of people, cannot. We're supposed to be able to at least run a mile. And that's the thing, is like, if we're not meeting our basic human needs, having meaningful connection and conversation, it's just your physical well-being will diminish with those things. And then all your engine, check everything lights are going to come on.
It's really unfortunate because I do think that Disney and Pixar were onto something when they made that Wall-E movie like 15 years ago, because it's kind of like we're headed there. Not the whole like Earth, made the whole Earth like dying and we have to move to another planet kind of thing. Elon Musk will help us with that. I have full faith.
Mars is going to be
full faith that Mars will be up and running in like 50 years or so. Could be that soon. I mean, I don't really know. We don't have to get in that, but like,
well, we're gonna fly in cars soon.
Well, that's what they said.
Yeah,
20 years ago.
They're creating vertiports.
Yeah, I have seen those though.
It's a Florida thing. All the conspiracies.
Shout out to Florida. We love Florida.
We love Florida.
We do love Florida.
For you, y'all were cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, but I mean, kind of like we were talking about earlier. It was either when we first started or before, but I mean, the whole phone screen thing, it's like, dude, like we are those people. Like I was about to, like, when we were talking about Christmas, I was about to be like, I really spoiled myself this year because we finally got one of those outlets that syncs with like our Alexa thing. And now I just say, Alexa, turn on the Christmas lights, and the tree turns on. And it's like, and someone's like, why do you have that? So I don't have to bend over and pick up the light to unplug it or to switch it off. And it's like, we're headed in that direction. It's too easy.
Easy to do nothing somehow.
I will humbly brag that as of this month, we purchased, I do that a lot. I need to fix that. We purchased a standing desk.
Oh.
Because my job at work has a standing desk. And, they sound more expensive than they actually are. You can get a pretty affordable one on Amazon. Shout out to Amazon again. They're getting a lot of free promo.
Sure.
They should cut the check. But I've been trying to do that a lot lately and like stand for like meetings and stuff. Because it's like, yeah, when you're doing like the actual grunt work, like it's okay to sit. But like for meetings where you're just sitting there listening or talking, stand up. And so I did that today and all of this week and last week. And it's great. It's so much fun to just stand there. And like you kind of feel like a certain kind of way when you're doing it too. You're like, oh, I'm better than all of you. But
sitting, how lame.
Loser. It'd be kind of cool to do a standing podcast, but I'd be leaning the whole time. That's my thing.
To make it comfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
To get rid of the discomfort.
It's a misalignment on my friend.
You think so?
Yeah. It's definitely related to some of it.
Kelly, what's on your calendar next week? Where are you?
I'm up in Woodstock.
Okay. I love Woodstock.
Right off Town Lake Parkway.
Love Town Lake Parkway.
Town Lake Parkway is pretty cool. I'm in, if you know where the big Ribley Family Chiropractic building.
I do.
I'm in there. It's right by Kroger and the Pike Plant Nursery.
You're in that Ribley? Name some people that work there.
So.
What's a dude? A guy. Name some guys.
A dude guy. So Doc Dr. Palmer Ribley is one of the doctors there. Dr. John Ferguson works there. He does pediatric and prenatal and lots of families. I know my side of the building has a lot of the women.
Okay.
So I've got like Dr. Zoe Pagrelis and Dr. Barry. What is Barry's last name? She's cool. She needs a first name.
I know I'm
Share.
I know I'm
Like Share. You do?
I'm trying to see. No.
There are 18 of us there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I used to work on Town Lake Parkway.
Did you?
I worked at a financial institution. I worked at the great LGE Credit Union.
How about that?
And they have a location there on Town Lake Parkway, up there by the, what's it across from? It's across from like the CVS. There you are. He's not on there. I think he used to. But either way, I opened a business account for a guy who I think used to work for Ribley Chiropractic. Or he said he's right next to them. Doug? Is his name Doug?
Douglas.
Douglas?
I'm new there since I just came up from Florida, starting my practice in that office.
What if I just like Googled Douglas chiropractic? This means nothing to you. Chiropractic.
Town Lake Parkway, maybe.
Woodstock.
There you go. Woodstock's good.
Found him.
Did you?
Look at that.
His name.
Son of a bitch. What is?
Does he look cool? Most chiropractors are pretty cool.
Douglas. Petite. Pettit.
Pettit.
This is what he looks like. Shout out to this guy.
He works here. I went to school with him.
You know that guy?
He works right next to me.
He works somewhere in there. Yeah, I opened his business account for his. He has a something.
Doug.
Yeah.
Dougie P. You know what?
Dougie P. That was his name.
No. He goes.
I hope he sees this.
Send it to him.
Well, you know him like that?
We were in the same. So the Life University goes by quarters.
Yeah.
Semesters, and we were in the same quarter. We started in the summer quarter of 2019. Doug, I'm putting all your info out there.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, so we were always next to each other because my last name's Peterson, his last name's Pettit.
That makes
we
sense.
were like seat homies.
I know this dude.
Yeah.
I mean, not really. I performed financial services for him at one point. Yeah, kind of. I mean,
yeah,
a little bit.
absolutely.
He's a nice guy.
He's very nice.
Very cool. Very knowledgeable.
He's
Very smart.
super smart guy.
He started talking, making conversation. I was like, well, what do you do? And so he's telling me, and I'm just like, I'm sitting there and I immediately have that thought of like, and I had the same thought when you're sitting there explaining all the discs and bones and stuff. I was like, you ever sit across from someone and you're like, this person is smarter than me? That's how I felt when I sat across from him. I was like, this dude is uber smart and I should probably ask if I can for him.
Seriously?
Because I would learn so much.
Yeah. He was the guy during school where everyone was like, yeah, Doug probably got 100% though. No matter what score, we could have gotten bad score, good score, but Doug probably did better.
That guy.
Yeah.
Doug. I'm just playing Doug. Hey, Dave, if you want to come on the podcast, I don't work there anymore. It's not a conflict of interest, so you can come on the show, Doug. Talk about your business.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love that.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Small world. Small world. So right now you're working in this office that has a bunch of different folks that do a bunch of different things.
Mm-hmm.
Is the goal to break off at some point, or do you always foresee, always is a strong word, but do you foresee yourself being in a spot like that for a long time?
That's a really good question that I don't have the answer to yet.
Sure.
I don't have the answer to yet. What I do really love about working there is just like you said, all the different people with all the different specialties that are in there. So right in the room right next to me, we have 3 docs that do pediatric, prenatal, family care. Well, I have a lady down the hallway who does all standard processed nutrition products. So she does nutrition consults for people. And we have a sports therapy guy. We have the athletic training room. We have the massage building in our same parking lot. And it's like, I could refer a person for anything. Basically, anyone that comes in is going to be able to find a good fit.
Well, I was going to say, it's kind of cool that, if someone's sitting with you, you might sit there with them and you think, you know what, I might not be the person for you, but 3 doors down, they are. And it's like a whole working referral program that you guys all have with each other.
Exactly.
Which is really cool. Or they might sit with you and they say, oh man, I've also got this other issue I need to figure out. And you're like, well, actually, if you want to, a lot of people like familiarity. A lot of people like the things that they know. So it's like, hey, you could come to the same building, but instead you just go to that door instead.
Right. You want a nutrition consult? Head down the hall. You want a massage? We got a person. They have a ton of massage therapists.
I've never gotten a massage either.
Sure, some self-care.
You and Catherine tell me the same thing. I do need to take care of myself more. I'm so bad at it.
Well, you're a parent too. Parents generally.
I have no children, Kelly.
Really?
0 children. My wife, my parents, my siblings. Yeah, no children.
Okay. Immediately when you said I'm on gift wrapping duty, I thought kids.
Yeah, hell no.
Never.
I mean, I wish, but not yet.
Got it.
Working on it.
Got it. Well, hey, if and when that comes around, I have a great pediatric and prenatal chiropractor.
See, look at that.
For your wife.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Love that.
There we go.
Well, cool.
Yeah. So in terms of starting my own, I'm not really sure. My boyfriend's in chiropractic school as well right now. He wants to work with sports, kind of functional movement patterns for people,
Sure.
and or potentially chiropractic for horses.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Very cool. So I don't know if we'll create like a big
That'd be cool.
chiropractical thing, since we have so many different kind of techniques and specialties that could go in there. Or
Well, like maybe you could do something like in the situation that you're in right now. So, I mean, we won't dive too deep into it, but this building that all of you that do your own craft are in is someone, I mean, you are your own person.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a boss per se, but does someone own that building?
yes.
So,
Ribley Family Chiropractic.
okay.
Yep. So actually, the son of one of the founders of Life U
Okay.
owns the practice.
Oh, okay. Amazing. So then what if you guys just did the same thing? You owned a building.
Mm-hmm.
You two have your offices, but then you recruit people that you know and trust and want to give the opportunity to have their own spaces. And what do you just, I mean, I don't want to get too big in your business. So what do you just pay them monthly for the space?
Basically, yeah. So independent contractorships work differently depending on where you're at.
Taxes are fun for you.
Super fun. But we just do a percentage split at Ribley, which is honestly amazing.
That is nice.
It's amazing. Yeah. Well, and it's super great for a new doctor starting her own practice for the first time. It's like your revenue month one is not, through the roof.
0 maybe. Yeah.
And so they've made it very accommodating for somebody to get their feet under them.
That's really nice.
If that makes sense. It wasn't like your room space is $2,000 and to use our facilities like total, it's not like you have to pay this chunk right now.
Right.
Or you're out.
Right.
Kind of thing.
That's really nice.
They are, yeah, it's been great. So that is definitely something that I would model after them if I ever did start my own big thing like that. And I think that's something on Kyle's radar, but he's the big idea guy. I'm the like nuts and bolts kind of analytical. Yeah.
You're the, what do they call Catherine? The voice, Catherine's my wife's name. The voice of reason. He's the guy that's like up here thinking about this and you're like bringing him back down. That's Catherine with me.
In every relationship, there's a go and there's a whoa. And
Catherine is the whoa.
Go.
I am the go.
Go. And then I go, whoa, wait, hold on. We don't have anything figured out for that yet. Let's rein it in. And so Catherine's probably like, she's got her spreadsheet and it's like figured out.
Yeah. She's like, okay. She's like, that's a great idea. I want you to write down a list of things you need to get there and then look at that list and then come back to me tomorrow.
And I'll add 10 more things that you didn't probably think of.
Yep. And then I look at that list and I'm like, oh, I can't do that.
Right. And how it's going to affect all the people who are involved.
It'll be like, I'll come to her and be like, we could build a mini city and have people buy the homes and live in it. And she's like, you can't build. And you're like, oh,
I need a person.
I need a person for that. And then that means I have money to pay that person.
Yeah. But you have your dad with the bracelet.
True. Dad,
you're hired.
Dad, you've got a job. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Kelly, there comes a point in every conversation I have where I ask the guest a collection of questions that don't revolve around what we just talked about. They're all very, I don't want to say personal questions, but they're very like first date kind of questions. They're very like casual.
Yeah.
There's a couple deep ones in there, but for the most part, it's, we spend an hour and a half talking about medical stuff and all these serious topics, but then we reel it back in at the end. And whether I'm sitting across from a local doctor or a person who won American Idol, I ask them the same set of questions to get their take on it. You ready for them?
I hope so.
I'm so excited for your answers on some of these. Favorite movie?
Oh,
Hey guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about the company that makes your morning drive happen every week. Are you looking to elevate your business and your brand? Hammerhead Creations is here to help. They offer top-tier marketing services, including social media management, website design, and Google page optimization, ensuring your business reaches the right audience. Whether it's a side hustle or your full-time grind, their expert team, me, is ready to help you grow. Plus, if you're into podcasting like me, Hammerhead Creations offers full support for both in-house shows and external podcast creation. From concept to production, we will help you bring your ideas to life. Visit www.hammerheadcreations.com and discover how we can take your business or your podcast or both to the next level. Hammerhead Creations, swim with the big sharks.
Okay, two. Can I say two?
Yeah, sure.
Favorite movies.
Hit me.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Great.
I love Audrey Hepburn.
Of course.
I think she's fabulous. And then actually Water for Elephants.
It's a great movie.
Love that movie.
Very underrated. I feel like nobody has seen it.
So good.
My mom was obsessed with that movie, and I want to use a big word today. Subsequently, I watched it a lot because she just had. My mom is like obsessive when it comes to movies, so if she likes it, she'll just keep it on autoplay.
Yeah.
Like from the month of November through January, it's just the Jim Carrey Grinch movie.
Sure.
Just on repeat.
Sure. Just
on loop. And so I have that memorized forwards and backwards.
Word.
But it's bad. And Water for Elephants was one of those movies. And it's Robert Pattinson, isn't it? And I was like, yes. And I was like, this is a really good movie that no one talks about.
Literally.
And both of their acting in it is superb.
It's great.
Unfortunately, Robert Pattinson has the Twilight thing working against him.
He does.
Because he's a really good actor. Like when he was Batman, bro, he was a great Batman.
I don't know that I've seen that one yet.
It was the most recent one, and he was a great Batman. But people were like, not the Twilight guy. And I was like, bro.
The Twilight guy.
The Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great.
Mm-hmm. Lucky him. That will follow him forever.
Yeah. Okay, good choices there. What was your first ever job ever working for someone else?
Does babysitting count? I babysat like it was a career when I was a kid.
Let's say not babysitting, like as a tween or a teen.
Yes. My very first job then was at a place called Shields. It's like Cabela's.
Yeah, I know Shields.
But if I told a Cabela's person that, they would think that I had just swore at
them. Dude, Shields,
you know, is cool.
It is cool.
It's cool.
People are like, what's a Shields? And I'm like, think about like a Cabela's, but also
shop,
a Walmart.
And a Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah. Plus other miscellaneous things wrapped up in one.
Plus either a Ferris wheel or a ginormous fish tank, depending on where you're at.
Sometimes both.
They always have homemade fudge.
Yep.
They have fudge shop.
It's like Buc-ee's. And have you been to a Buc-ee's yet?
I have been to a Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's, Dick's Sporting Goods, Walmart, and Bass Pro Shops all wrapped up in a bow.
But slightly, classier.
Yeah. It's like a mall, but it's not a mall.
It isn't. It's all under one roof.
It's a mall, but it's one big ass store, like big ass store.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
working there.
It's a cool place to be.
Cool.
And you did this in Nebraska?
I did.
Okay. So you lived in Nebraska for your whole life, and then you moved here.
I grew up there, and then I did my undergrad there as well.
Amazing.
Go Huskers, Nebraska.
What's in Nebraska?
Yeah, I get that a lot.
People ask me what's in Illinois.
Exactly.
There's nothing. It's Chicago and nothing else.
So people think Nebraska is just like the prairie. If they've ever seen Little House on the Prairie, they're like, there's a tumbleweed that rolled by. No, that's it.
They just like picture that somehow civilization hasn't hit Nebraska and people are still rolling around on buggies.
Usually when people ask me, I say, we have running water now. But, so when I grew up in Lincoln, there was 200 or 250,000 people in Lincoln. So it's not like it was dinky. Like it was,
sure.
Bigger than that.
But it's still small town vibes.
To me, it felt like a normal city because, I hadn't lived in Atlanta yet.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it had everything, but, you drive 20 minutes in any direction and you're in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
That's basically Illinois. You got your like town, and then it's like, okay, if you drive down that road, you'll soon see cornfields.
Right.
And that's it.
Right.
For like 45,000 miles.
Literally.
And then you hit the next city. You're like, okay, civilization again.
There was a lot of beans, like bean fields in Nebraska. Corn, of course, too.
Sure.
Like, yeah. A lot of that The cool thing though, I have flown back to Nebraska, and the thing about it is the air just feels and smells really clean in Nebraska. I don't know how to explain it, but that was the first thing I noticed after living down here for school and then flying back. I was like, wow, like, I feel like that was just a good breath to take. I feel like it's cleaned out my lungs being there. So I highly recommend visit Omaha or Lincoln just because.
I've never been to the great state of Nebraska.
You can get a killer steak.
Okay.
Yeah, Omaha steak.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Omaha steaks. That's is that what the food? If Chicago and Illinois is known for like Chicago pizza, is Nebraska for the steaks?
Steak.
Okay, good to know.
Get you some steak.
Good to know.
Yeah,
good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Rank these 3 things in the order of your favorite to your least favorite.
Okay.
Queso, guac, and salsa.
Guac, salsa, queso.
Okay.
Yeah, I love guac. I ate like a pile of guac. Have you ever been to Taqueria Tsunami?
Yeah, for sure.
I ate a pile of their guac earlier at lunch. It was
fire.
So good.
Fire.
So good.
Speaking of food, if tomorrow, Kelly, we found out was your last day on Earth, what would your final meal be tonight?
Steak.
True Nebraska in you.
Just a really, really good steak.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fire.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's most people's answer.
Is it?
Is steak.
Yeah. That, and or if it had oysters for an appetizer. I love oysters.
Full course meal.
It's happening.
Okay.
It's happening. Yeah. Yep.
You get to organize a music festival for you. No one else, but for you.
Yeah.
Who are you calling as to be your 3 headliners? And
I need to recruit my sister for this question. She does that. She does the concert thing and the music thing. And
what do you mean she does the music thing?
Well, so she just knows really good songs and good artists, and she always finds somehow like the best concerts to go to. And I'm like, yeah, I'll come along.
Is your sister here?
No, she's in Arizona.
Arizona's nice too.
Yeah, well, it's nice. It was way too hot there.
Yeah, I lived in Arizona for a period of time.
Did you?
Where? Did. Scottsdale.
Okay, she lives in Gilbert.
I know where that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But so I would probably have to go back to country music.
Okay.
If I had to pick a concert series to go to, I'd pick country music because the people there are usually just a little more chill.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So I've been listening to, oh, no, wait. Okay. It's not going to be all country music. JP Cooper is going to be my first artist.
Okay.
There. Have you heard of JP Cooper?
I have not.
You need to look up JP Cooper. JP Cooper. He is amazing, and he has the voice of an angel.
Genre?
He doesn't really fit into one. Like, if you look him up on Spotify, his little, like, right below his name, they usually say, like, whatever they are, rock and roll, country, whatever.
Sure.
He's got, like, 6.
It says singer-song. That's what the music streaming apps do, is if they don't know what to label someone, they say singer-songwriter.
Yeah. Well, I looked him up. It was, like, indie, like, but also pop, but also like spiritual, but also romance, but also like you have to listen to him. Everybody listen to JP Cooper. He's amazing.
JP Cooper.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I would just have a whole JP Cooper concert.
Okay.
That's it.
Really?
Yeah.
You like him that much? Does he have an album called She?
Probably.
Is this him?
Yeah. He's he's the coolest guy.
Okay.
And he's actually, I'm not a concert person, but he happened to be coming through Atlanta, and it was trying to think of what it's called. It's like a little upstairs room in Midtown, small venue, and he was there, and it was the most fun concert
awesome.
I've ever been to. It was like very small. He's such a sweet guy. All of his fans were like really nice people too.
That's awesome.
And it was amazing. And he like talks about how much he loves his family, and he's great. JP Cooper, everyone. Look him up.
All right, JP Cooper. Mm-hmm. It's also smaller concerts the most fun.
It was so good. It was so good.
Okay. Speaking of self-care, on a day that you have no pile, no work, no responsibilities, how do you take care of yourself?
Yeah, anything that I can do to be outside. Doesn't matter if it's cold. I guess if it's raining, that makes it hard to be outside for a long time. But I would rather spend my time out doing anything where it's green and there's nature and things to look at than sit inside any day. So if I'm going for a walk, a bike ride, a run, meeting a friend to do something outside, I would rather, go kayaking or paddleboarding or whatever it is outside, hiking, whatever. That's just, I would spend an entire day outside, not connected to any screens or any phones or anything.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. What is something very little people know about you?
What is it? Very few people know about me. I am trying to learn piano right now.
I love that.
It has been futile so far.
Really?
And left hands cannot do different things at the same time.
Yeah.
They don't. And I've looked up so many, like, here's how to figure that out. Video. It doesn't happen. It doesn't. So if anyone has tips on that, please let me know.
What triggers you? I hate using the word trigger because it's overused, I feel like. But like, if I made a joke about something and you're like, nah, not that, red flag.
I think, well, okay, so there's like a minor and major trigger of kind of the same thing.
Okay.
For me. So it's when like people in general just kind of give up on their health and themselves and that sort of thing when they're like, oh, this is just the way it is, or they self-medicate, or they do a whole bunch of things. And I'm like, why? But why? There's so many options out there. And then I just take that as my responsibility to push out more education and information. And then the major trigger of that is when healthcare providers do not take better responsibility for the things that they're doing. It just makes me mad. Or when behind closed doors, healthcare providers joke about serious things like that, or they're like, oh yeah, this one just didn't go well. We'll chalk it up to a bad day and just move. And I'm like, you're like, healthcare providers can have so much influence on a person's life with saying one word a different way than another, with the look they give somebody, with their bedside manner. There's just so many things. And healthcare providers do not take enough responsibility for that piece. I truly feel that. And that's why I do things the way that I do, because it's me taking some of that responsibility back, making sure that I do a good job for you, so that way your body has the best chance to heal itself.
That's a great answer. I like that a lot. What's your biggest fear?
That's a good question.
Is it the upside down?
Probably. I mean, Nancy, come on. Come on. My biggest fear, for the longest time, I hated heights.
Kind of over that now?
Kind of. It kind of went away. I don't know when, but it's like I can handle a roller coaster and not like totally cry and sweat. And you know, it's bad when I was a kid. Okay, it's like traumatic for some reason. I think my biggest fear right now is being alone, in the sense of like losing the people that matter to me.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
And has a lot of weight and a lot of validity. Is that a word?
Yeah.
It is now.
It is now. I think it is a word.
I think so. Yeah. I sounded very smart saying that.
It was good.
I was going to say it's very valid, but I don't know if that makes grammatical sense.
I think they both actually worked. I know. You really nailed it.
No, not that. You just said something.
What?
That I empathize and feel you on so much.
What?
You said both.
Both. Both?
Both. You said both.
Both?
That's an answer.
Is it? What do most people say?
Both.
Both?
B-O-T-H.
Oh, that's like boat. Like you can't say it like that.
Both. You and I say both.
What do you call the plastic?
Northerners unite.
What do you call the plastic thing that they put your groceries in at the store?
The plastic
thing? Like at the end, you check out and they put it in the
cart?
That's what, like you can get paper or plastic.
Bag?
Okay.
What do you call it?
The Northerners call it a bag.
A bag?
Bag. I make fun of my mom.
A bag?
She goes, here's a baggie. And I'm like, a who?
Dude, my mom will be like, she'll be like, we're going to cook breakfast. You guys want bacon and eggs? And I'd be like, Mom, not the eggs. Or wash.
Stop. My godmother says that.
Wash.
Wash your
hand.
Can't.
I'm doing a load of laundry. You got to wash the clothes.
My sister is dating a guy from New York.
Oh, yeah.
So it's all I'm going to pick everyone up some coffee.
Some coffee.
Be right back.
I love that.
Dude.
Love that. Some of our good friends are from New York and they say the same. They say both as well. And they didn't know they said it until I pointed it out. And the only reason I now say both is because I have an ex-girlfriend who made that just rub that shit in so much that it trained me to stop saying both.
Both. How is it? How do people? Both.
You and I are saying B-O-L-T-H. Both.
Yeah.
It's B-O-T-H. Both. It sounds so unnatural.
You can't. It doesn't.
It's weird.
My tongue won't move
right?
That. Both.
Northerners unites. And then Kelly, lastly, what does success look like to you?
This looks like to me something that's very difficult to measure. There's not a lot of measurements for it, and I think people try to put measurements on it a lot. To me, it's a sense of contentment that you get from knowing you're doing your best and you're not in control of the outcomes. All you can do is your best, put in your best effort, and the outcomes will be what they are, whether that's in your relationships, in your career, in your family, in whatever it is, learning the piano. Like, I don't feel like I have achieved great piano playing, but I have been successful in trying to learn how to play the piano because the lessons have been there, the time is there, that sort of thing. It's just haven't reached, fluent piano playing. My fingers don't speak piano yet, but I think it's something that's hard to measure, and a lot of people try to put a measurement on it when you really can't do that, in my mind.
Yeah, it's a great answer.
Yeah. What does success mean to you?
It's a great question. I think similarly to you in that I don't think it's measured by an object or not necessarily monetarily. Sure, making a lot of money is success. You are successful if you make a lot of money, but the things aren't mutually exclusive. I think you can be successful and not make a lot of money. I think you and I are successful right now. I think we're both doing what we enjoy I think that we have the time to do stuff like this. I think that's successful. I think that we both are happy outside of what we do. I think we both have good friends, good family, like you said, great support system. I think that's success because a lot of people don't have that. If a short answer is time, we've got the time to do what we want.
There wasn't too much this time. That was good.
It was pretty good.
First time.
Not bad. But yeah, I mean, time to do what you please with who you please. Sure, a lot of money would be great. We would love that. But at the same time, money doesn't equal everything.
Mm-hmm. Is success to you kind of like freedom then? I'm just getting that.
Yeah, freedom to just be.
Right.
I still have a full 9-to-5 job. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I love the people I work for. I love the company that I work for. I think they do good things, but ultimately freedom is success, I think. Being able to just wake up and be like, you know what? We're not working today.
Right.
Today is just a self-care day.
There you go.
That would be
Schedule
success.
some of those in for yourself.
I need to.
Yeah.
I need to.
Schedule that in.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I ask all these questions to people and I never know how to answer them myself.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm going to ponder it. I have one more really pressing question.
Yeah.
Why is Atlanta on your hat upside down? Why is it? I'm looking at it this whole time.
Yeah, I know. I keep seeing your eyes like look up at it and you're like trying to figure it out.
Trying to solve it.
It's a puzzle.
I'm trying to read it so many times and I'm like, can't read that.
It's, I don't know where it came from. It just happened. It's a trend, I guess. You'll see people wearing hats. Like Post Malone, he wears one that's Dallas backwards because that's where he's from. I'm not from Atlanta, so I don't know why. I mean, I don't know if Posty started it. I don't think so. I just think it's one of those weird style things that people just gravitated towards, and now it's everywhere.
Huh.
Everywhere.
I'm not down with the trends.
Now you'll see it more. Because before you probably just saw something written and you didn't notice, but now you'll notice it more.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll text me in a few days and you'll be like, oh my God, I just saw another person with a hat with something spelled backwards.
You're trendy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I try to be.
You're trendy.
I like to be.
It's good.
I care a lot about what people think about me.
Do you?
A lot.
Have you ever taken the Enneagram person? What are you?
Oh, I don't know. I forget.
Oh.
I'm bad at remembering things.
That's fair. Yeah.
I've taken, I care a lot about what people think, and I'm trying to balance that because on one end, fuck them, but on the other end, like, I'm the guy that's like, I'm like a girl, kind of, like at heart. Don't take that and run with it.
Explain it.
Like, it's not very dude-like for me to hit up, let's just pretend we're going out. Me and Kyle and the boys, we're all going out. I'm texting the group chat and saying, like, you guys wearing shorts or jeans?
Okay.
Because I don't want to be the only dude wearing shorts or jeans.
Heard.
And then we take a group picture.
Yeah.
All jeans, shorts.
And you're the shorts
and
guy.
I'm the one guy.
don't be the shorts guy.
I'll be shorts guy if there's two shorts guys,
Okay.
but not the one.
Yeah.
Can't be the one.
Yeah. Okay. Because you feel like people will judge your knees.
I don't know where it comes from, if I'm honest. I probably should bring this up next time I go to therapy, but I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a need to not. Are you hungry? Was that your stomach, or was that your
Get there. Fun. Oh, fun fact.
Yeah.
I can't burp.
What?
I don't burp. That was the equivalent. That's it.
You can't burp.
It doesn't happen.
I can burp on
I
command.
burped like accidentally. Maybe I can count on one hand in my life.
Really?
Yeah. It's super exciting. Anytime that happens, I'm like, wow, this is what people go through.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You were saying about your kneecaps.
Yes, thank you for that. Yes, thanks for steering me back on track. Yeah, no, I don't know, I mean, I don't want to be the person that everyone looks at and like is like, oh, he's different.
Mm.
Man, this could turn into therapy.
Because blending in was like more helpful to you at some point in your life. Did it keep you safe at some point in your life?
Maybe, yeah. I moved around a lot as a kid, so I was always the new kid. So I always stood out.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I overthink it.
That's why you can't show your kneecaps.
But like, I'm very like hardcore about it. Like,
Really?
I'm like, what are you wearing? And they'll be like, I don't know, jeans or shorts or something like that. And I'll be like, well, which one?
Send me a picture.
Send me a picture of your outfit.
Yeah.
And then if someone's like jeans and they show up in shorts and they're like, I just decided to change last minute, I'll be like, you motherfucker.
You just ruined my whole night.
I think about it for a solid 10 minutes after that interaction. I'll be like, I can't believe I'm the only one
You
wearing
have to
shorts.
bring both in your car when you go.
That's a wise choice.
That's what girls do. It's like at least 3 outfit changes.
I'm very girly in my outfit stress.
Okay.
Like, my wife picks my outfits out for me. She didn't pick this outfit out. She would have probably chosen not the Disney villain shirt.
But that's a cool shirt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But when we go to like nice things, I'm like, what should I wear? Like I say in like a fun way so that she doesn't know that I'm trying to get her to pick out my entire outfit.
Right.
But I'll be like, what should I wear? She'll be like, I'll wear this shirt. And I'll be like, so what pants should I wear? Logan, you are an adult. Dress yourself. And I'll be like, yeah, but like, what if I wear something that's stupid and everyone else isn't wearing collared shirts? And it's like, oh man, I'm underdressed. I just don't want to stand out in a negative way.
Here you go.
Now, if I stand out in a cool way, that's different.
Well, you're upside down hat.
Yes.
I get it. Also, now it's right side up, though. Now I can read.
True.
Now I can read.
Oh, shoot, it is right side up.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bree. Day one. That's what this company's called. Day one fan.
Nice.
She just got free advertising.
Go Bree.
Go Bree.
Go Bree. See, I would be that person that would show up in shorts and absolutely the wrong shirt and barefoot and like.
Damn.
Yeah.
And you just don't care.
It just doesn't. Yeah.
Just doesn't cross your mind.
It doesn't even really. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm jealous.
During the years that no one shall speak of, when nobody went anywhere, I forgot shoes going to the grocery store because I was so used to just being outside and never wearing shoes. And then I got to Kroger and I looked down at my feet and I was like, I can't go in like this.
You're like, it wasn't the feeling of my feet hitting the gas.
Literally didn't. It wasn't.
But it was the fact that I almost got out of my car and was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, like my foot hit asphalt. And I was like, this is wrong. This is wrong. So then I didn't get eggs and I went home.
Well,
eggs.
I love that. Kelly, you're fun. I like you. You're good stuff.
This was good.
Kelly, now you get the chance to look to the people, talk to the people, tell them how to find you, what you provide, and how to book your services, how to get in touch with you, all those things.
Cool. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on this podcast. This was really fun. I've not done a podcast like this before, and like you made this really easy and enjoyable because usually I am awkward and I say a whole bunch of words.
You were so much fun.
That's yay.
Yeah, literally so cool.
Okay, awesome. Well, so my office, like I said, is on Town Lake Parkway. I'm in the Ribley Family Chiropractic Building. You just ask for Dr. Kelly if you're interested in Soundwave adjustments. I also do just other instrument adjusting for the rest of the body, lower force, more specific, which means you're coming back less often. If you don't like the large, long care plan sort of chiropractic, for some people that works. They love it. It's like a gym membership. For me, that was never my thing. So that's what you would find if you came to my office. We're doing a holiday special right now. So we've chopped those prices in like down to like a third, just to make it more available, just to help more people have access to this sort of care. I love to provide, just a second opinion. If you've got mysterious health things going on and you've been to lots of providers and nobody was really able to give you an answer that made much sense, you're pretty much the perfect candidate to come and have a conversation with me. And I would love to do that, even if you don't end up starting care with me, even if it just means we get to talk and I can point you in a good direction for you. I'd love to do that. That matters to me. That's a passion of mine. That's the gist. If you are one of those parents that hands your kids the phone or the iPad, like we were talking about at the beginning, no judgment. Just have them lay on their stomach while they do it, because then their neck curve is better and it's backwards rather than them looking down towards
great
their
tip.
lap. Yep. Lay on your stomach. You can be an adult and give yourself tummy time too. You can. No, you can, really.
I can't give myself tummy time because of my discomfort.
Yeah. So we're gonna work.
I'm coming to see you, Kelly.
Work on that.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk
work
later.
on that, because I have some ideas. I just didn't want to
Yeah.
blast your personal info.
No, that's
with
cool.
a blank.
Yeah, I might come see you, Kelly.
Yeah, that'd be great. Holiday special, man.
Right.
It's time. But yeah, so even if you're an adult and you're spending lots of time on your phone on Amazon, shout out to Amazon, buying more things that you may or may not wrap, then lay on your stomach and do that. And you'll find that your neck is less tight and sore and angry at you after that. And also drink your water. Okay. That's all for me then.
Wow, that's great, guys. I'll put Kelly's information in the description of the episode so that she's easily accessible, so that you can, get to her, view how to book her, and all those fun things. So I'll put that in the description so it's easy to access. Kelly, thank you so much. This was so fun.
It was great.
It was a reschedule due to silly time zones.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, couldn't think of a better way to spend the Friday night. This was cool.
This was really fun. Yeah,
Good.
11 p.m. to 1 a.m. next time.
Okay. We'll come in here with some jammies, some whiskey and coffee, and we'll get a little crazy. We'll just talk about the things that people aren't ready to hear.
We'll invite Nancy from Stranger Things.
That'd be so cool.
That'd be really
It'd be weird if you guys were sitting next to each other.
Uh-huh.
That'd be
I wonder if we have similar mannerisms.
maybe.
And Jack Black, we'll invite him too.
That'd be cool.
You guys do the eyebrow thing.
Yeah, we do.
You do.
That's where I get the Jack Black thing from.
It's good.
Is the eyebrows.
It's good.
Cool. Yeah, guys, thank you so much to Kelly again for being here and doing this on a Friday night. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody listening in or watching. We definitely appreciate it. Again, follow on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok. I would greatly appreciate that. And yeah, take care. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.
And leave him a 5-star rating. I'm going to go leave myself a 5-star rating.
You heard it here first. See you guys.